In this video, I'm going to give you a tour of my downtown San Francisco apartment. It's a one bed, one bath apartment in the financial district, and rent is $2,900 per month plus utilities. And so far, my 3 utility bills have ranged from right around $25 to around $75. I'll give you more information about the place after the tour, and that tour starts right now. Coming into the entryway, you see the living area, which is effectively just an office with a lounge since I spend an embarrassing percentage of my life in front of my computer and I basically never have any guests. To the left is a luxury I've waited way too long for. Don't get me wrong, laundry is annoying no matter what, but having in-unit laundry appliances makes laundry the least painful it can be. So far, I'm impressed with how quickly the washing machine washes everything. At my previous place, it took 35 minutes, but this machine washes my clothes in 15, and you can set the water levels. And the dryer up top allows you to set a time. Of course, the detergent and dryer sheets go on top with an empty dryer sheet box to dispose of old dryer sheets and lint trap fuzzies. On the other side of the entryway is the only part of the apartment where I don't care how it looks since it's hidden from view. That is, of course, my closet, which is effectively my apartment's junk drawer. You can see some of my extra studio equipment, my workout mat and resistance bands, and some extra power strips. On the shelves I keep my tool set, and on top of it I just leave the box cutter out because I ordered a lot of packages my first couple of months here, and it's easier to not have to open the somewhat heavy toolbox every time I order something that comes in a box. The top shelf has extra pillows, a blanket, and a comforter for the off chance I ever have an overnight guest. On the floor, I have most of my cleaning supplies. It's mostly just Swiffer stuff and Clorox wet wipes because I find those things to be the easiest to clean with. This closet also has more than enough hooks for guests to hang coats and backpacks. There's my supply of extra tissues. And there's my shredder. Okay, enough with the boring closet. And here's my closet door mirror that I'm doing an awkward 45 pose in. The entryway is the only part of the apartment where shoes are worn, so the rest of the tour will be shoes off because that is the easiest way to keep these floors clean. Let's move on to the living area, where it would be a good time to mention that just about everything I ordered for this apartment came from Amazon. You can immediately see my black and white style. And hot take, the floor ruins the total neutral aesthetic I'm going for. I'd prefer one of those modern gray floors. Let's start with the seating. Admittedly, in anticipation of having few guests, I cheaped out on the couch. This microfiber sofa cost a grand total of about $310. And yes, it folds into a sleeper. It's not the most comfortable couch, but it gets the job done. In front of the couch is a 2-level coffee table. It was listed as espresso colored, but I bought it because it looks black to the naked eye. On top, I keep a set of coasters that are fittingly made of black stone. And I balance the stack of coasters with a black suede scented candle sitting on top of a metal serving tray. On the second level of the table, I keep a couple of books and a remote for a smart TV. I've developed a bit of a soft spot for Princess Diana over the years, so one of the books is a Princess Diana photo book. The other book is about a destination I have a soft spot for. This is a photo book of Paris, France. And yes, I intentionally only bought books with black and white covers that fit into my decor. I also keep my Amazon Fire TV remote on the second level of the table. The streaming platform buttons are convenient. I bought this soft white shaggy rug to brighten up the room a bit by balancing my heavy-handed use of black in this space, and to cover up more of the laminate floor that, again, I wish was a neutral color. Speaking of the floor, I use the edge of the rug as the official boundary for the shoe zone. If you extend the line formed by the edge of the rug, it is in the entryway zone that I keep my shoes. I use my sandals for laundry, the closet, and for going elsewhere in the building. I use the filthy looking boots for going out into the world. The third pair of shoes are my workout shoes, and the last pair of shoes are slip-ons I use within the building. Moving on to the corner of the room that is the office area. I work in tech as a UX designer, and I create video content on the side, as you've probably figured out by now. So this corner of the apartment gets a heavy dose of my waking hours, which of course means I needed to plan for both functionality and comfort. Since this isn't a desk tour video, I won't go into extreme detail. We can start with the screens. I have 2 MacBooks connected to a Lenovo 4K monitor. One of my MacBooks is my work one that's parked under the monitor stand. The other MacBook is my personal one that's open. Next to the MacBook is a Logitech mouse with a G that changes colors. The colors can be programmed, but I haven't bothered with that yet. And the mouse sits on a large mouse pad that came with the desk. To the left of the mouse pad, you see some other gadgets and accessories I keep on the desk and by the window. I haven't yet built a charging station, so this is where the charging happens. The right side of the desk is where my sound equipment lives. That would be my USB audio interface, my noise-canceling headphones I basically never use, but they make the desk look cooler, and the XLR condenser microphone I'm currently using to record this script. This apartment has high ceilings that make the acoustics poor, so this is what the audio would sound like without a mic, and this is what the audio sounds like with a mic. And this camera that you're looking at me through is a Sony a6600 with a Sigma art lens. Behind the desk I have a couple of Neewer lights that I don't use because my monitor lights up my face just fine for talking head videos. Since I never shopped for an office chair before, I think I lucked out on this one. This is a polyurethane leather gaming chair, and it's one of the few chairs I can comfortably sit in for hours. I got it on Amazon and it cost me a grand total of just over $91. And since I don't want to be charged for ruining the laminate floors, I bought a black office chair mat for the chair to roll over. If I need to vacuum the rug, I can just use this USB charging vacuum. And here are some other black accessories. Sketchbooks, rubber bands, and small garbage bags for the small trash can I keep under the desk. I originally kept this 1.3 gallon trash can in the bathroom, but it was too small for that space, so I moved it here. And the rest of the under desk space looks like this because I'm not obsessed with cord management the way everyone else seems to be. As for the desk itself, it is a standing desk with 4 different programmable height settings. On the window stool next to my faux charging station is a black tissue box for my tissues. As for the window itself, that is what it looks like. However, the window next to it is not a window. It's a door that goes out to a patio. I won't show the patio, but it's worth noting that it's there. And on the stool of the last window, I keep more black and white covered books. These aren't just for decor. They also function as weights to keep the blinds from creeping too far from the window and enabling outsiders to peep in. The book on top is a story about Steve Jobs titled The Steve Jobs Way. The book on the bottom is a story about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. titled Where Do We Go From Here? These are not picture books, which is why they are by the window and not on the coffee table. Looking into the corner, you see my little internet hub. And yes, I'm selfishly thankful that Google Fiber made a device that accidentally fits my decor, so I don't need to hide it. Next to it is one of the most underrated parts of this apartment. My heater that keeps me from figuratively freezing to death. It has a warning to keep everything 3 feet away from it, but it was installed next to an electrical outlet that's literally 3 inches from it. So it's sort of asking for things to be close to it. Now for the arguably eyesore I skipped over. What you're looking at is a Vivo rolling TV stand holding up a 55-inch Amazon Fire TV. As you can see, I bought a screen protector because I never actually use the TV, and I don't want the screen to get dusty during its idle time. I bought the TV because I couldn't resist a $560 TV being on sale for $300. But seriously, the only time I used it was when my family visited that one time. Across the room from the TV is the stool that came with the apartment. It's the home for my backpack, jacket, and jeans. And between the stool and the TV is the runner rug I bought to add some brightness to the space. While it does add some brightness to the space, I don't like how slippery it is. It seems to have basically no grip or friction with the laminate floor, so you have to be slightly careful when walking on it. The rug leads to the kitchen and the bedroom. Next to the rug is a 13-gallon step-on trash can. Here's what the kitchen looks like from the living area / office area. And here's what the kitchen looks like with the lights on, since it doesn't get much natural light. These are the marble counters. Aside from my keys and tissue box that permanently reside there, the upper counter is the designated space for temporary junk to keep the rest of the apartment clutter-free, and the lower counter is for food prep. I don't like this marble pattern because it makes it unnecessarily difficult to see which part of the counter has been cleaned. If the counter always looks wet, that is not very helpful. Boom, a dishwasher. Something that's supposedly very rare in San Francisco apartments, even though it should be standard since it uses less water than hand washing dishes. But I appreciate the luxury because this thing makes my life much easier. I use it basically every night and wake up with clean dishes. Here's the sink area. I bought a dish rack which gets used regularly to store wet dishes from the dishwasher. There's the inside of the sink, which I wish was deeper because it splashes. And that can get annoying when you've just handled raw meat, you're trying to wash your hands, and you don't want raw meat juice splashing all over your kitchen. But minor complaint. Thanks to the realtor for coming through on the new faucet. If you saw my empty apartment tour, the old faucet barely had any water pressure. This new faucet has pretty good water pressure. In a perfect world, I would have gotten matte black. When I half-jokingly told the realtor, he said, "You're just a renter, so I got the cheapest one I could find." For context, I live in a building full of condos that has a mix of renters and buyers, so if you're interested in buying one of these units, according to the realtor, it would only cost you $1.6 million. I bought this sling to hold my sponges. It seemed like a more elegant solution for my sponges than other kinds of sponge holders I saw on Amazon. And yes, all of my sponges are black. Hashtag not racist. I also got a couple of soap dispensers. One for dish soap and the other for hand soap. And of course a paper towel holder. On the counter to the right of the paper towel holder is where I keep my cooking oils, seasonings, and my knife set. This is the largest open counter space in the kitchen, so it's the main area for food preparation. Since filming this, I finished off the avocado oil and have used about half of the olive oil. Between the two, I feel like the olive oil is better, but that's just my opinion. As for seasoning, I don't keep anything fancy. Just salt and pepper shakers and salt and pepper grinders. I usually keep potatoes and onions in the spot where you see the lemons. And yes, that is an all-black knife set because I'm serious about my style. In the cabinets above, I keep my dishes and meal prep containers. I don't need 12 meal prep containers, but that's how many came in the set I bought, so whatever. I was debating between getting a black dish set and a white dish set and went with white after stumbling upon many online forums of women making fun of bachelors with black dish sets. Also, from a utility perspective, it would be much easier to spot a bug floating in your drink in a white cup than it would be in a black cup. Up top, I have my dishwasher soap, paper towels, and the last of my paper plates from my previous place where I only used disposable dishes and utensils. In the top drawer, you can see my spatula set and my utensils. All black, of course. And the plastic forks and knives from my previous place. The second drawer has my set of non-stick pots and skillets. Most of these get used fairly regularly for meal prepping. In the bottom drawer, I keep bottled water. Yes, I know it's probably bad for the environment, but it's more convenient than getting a water filter set that I need to remember to change every so often. Under the sink, I keep cleaning supplies, trash bags, extra soap, extra sponges, all that stuff. The opposite side of the kitchen has more drawers and cabinets as well as the cooking appliances. This is my snack cabinet. It's pretty tame right now. And there's extra storage space for towels at the top. Here's the microwave. It's a nice modern looking microwave, nothing too fancy, but I don't need anything fancy. The potato button gets good use, but I don't recommend using the popcorn button since the microwave seems to think burnt popcorn tastes good. There's a reason the instructions on the packages of popcorn warn you to not use the popcorn button on your microwave. There are some cabinets at the top. I don't use them for anything except for storing the grill-looking thing that was in the oven when I moved in. In this cabinet, I keep some other basic food items. This, of course, is the cooking area. At the left, I keep my oven mitts, a meat thermometer, and a can opener. In the middle of the space is the stove and oven. Here's a collection of highlights from the chemistry experiments I've done in and on this thing. The stovetop is a dust magnet, so it's nearly impossible to keep entirely clean. but I at least try to keep it sanitary. In case you're curious, here's a look inside of the oven. This is my drawer for parchment paper, plastic wrap, and Ziploc bags. And this is sort of my junk cabinet. Here's my cutting board drawer, and my baking supplies cabinet. Now for the refrigerator. From bottom to top, the top shelf has veggies, the second shelf has fully cooked meats and meals ready for reheating on the left side, and I keep carbs on the right side. The tray has candy that I basically only eat on weekends, and the bottom shelf has eggs. The door is where I keep the dairy products, bottled water, condiments, and produce. The left drawer has red meat, and the right drawer has poultry. At the bottom is my freezer. The big tray is empty, but it's sometimes filled with packages of frozen broccoli when Amazon actually has them in stock, which they never do because I always buy them all. Also, everyone should have cookies ready to bake just because. And here is some of that frozen broccoli supply. The cabinets above the fridge just have owner's manuals for the appliances. So that was the kitchen. Apologies if that was way too much detail, but I'm sure some will appreciate it. Now for the bedroom. This is what the bedroom looks like with the natural light flowing in through the blinds. The bedroom is the only room in the apartment without built-in lights, so I bought this standing lamp. Now we can see some more details of the room, including the nightstand and the patterns and materials on the bed. And of course, everything has to be black because Raymond style. This is the soft, shaggy rug I bought for this space. It's the exact same brand and model as the one in the living area, except that one is white and this one is black. Here's a close-up of the texture to better communicate the look and feel of the rug. The rug, of course, sits in front of my queen-sized bed, which has a grid pattern comforter on top of a set of satin sheets. Truthfully, the only time I ever actually make my bed is after I wash my sheets every Tuesday evening, or if I know I'm going to have a guest over, or if I'm filming an apartment tour. This is my nightstand. I mainly use it as a place to put my phone and iPad on top of at night. The top drawer has nothing. The bottom drawer has my laptop case. Here's a close-up of the satin sheets. Let me tell you, the bedtime experience is every bit as comfortable as it looks. So ladies, I'm on the market as of the filming of this video, though I can't make any guarantees by the time you find this video. The satin sheet set of course came with satin pillowcases as well. The skin on my body has significantly improved since I began sleeping on this bed. Of course, that may have more to do with the fact that I actually wash my sheets regularly now, which I definitely didn't do at my previous place because it would have been too much of a hassle. Here's a better shot of the lights I use in this space. Usually I only have one on at a time, but for the sake of filming, it looks better when both are on. Over on the stool on the left window, I have a black pencil sharpener, a box of black pencils, and a notebook. And yes, I'm using them to hold the blinds against the window. In front of the middle window, I have a Bauhaus book that serves the same function. And since filming this, I bought a pop art book to go with it. There's nothing in front of the right window, but I'll sometimes put my sweatpants or shorts there for easy access. I considered buying small sculptures to act as weights to deal with the blinds, but it's not my style to buy things that are basically decorative only. It's why you may have noticed there is no art or photographs on any of the walls in this apartment. This is the closet, of course. That's my clean clothes basket and my dirty clothes basket. Just above it are holiday sweaters and other rarely worn items. Up here are my shirts, in the bottom left cubby are my towels, and just above that are my socks. I always use the leftmost ones, and the newly washed socks go on the right side. I use this rotation method so my socks can degrade evenly over hopefully a longer period of time. Just above that is my stack of underwear. There is a rotation to these too, as well as my athletic stuff in the top left cubby. The very top has little used items I should seriously consider donating. And there are my athletic shorts. So, one of the awkward things about this apartment is that you have to go through the bedroom to get to the bathroom. I suppose it's not awkward if basically only one person is ever here, but it might be a bit strange for guests. Now we enter the bathroom. There's the mirror and sink. This is what the bathroom looks like from the outside with the lights on. I actually quite like this bathroom. Of course, the only thing I would change is the marble counter I previously complained about when I showed the kitchen. Starting from the top, there's the set of lights. I still haven't bothered putting in a new bulb for the one that isn't working. Then there's the mirror, which I imagine is plenty big enough for most people. Here's a close-up of the mildly annoying counter. I went with a white soap dispenser because I decided to lean more toward a white theme for the bathroom. Here's a close-up of the faucet. And the sink. These hand towels are the most noticeable Raymond mark on the space. I bought this hand towel holder and set of paper hand towels because even though I'll admit they're worse for the environment, I believe they do a better job of cleaning your hands than a cloth towel would. Of course, I always need my handheld mirror so I could see the sides of my face and the back of my head when shaving. These are the drawers and cabinets. I keep the guest stuff in the top left drawer. In the second drawer, I keep a first aid kit and the previous tenant's jar of tampons that I still, for whatever reason, haven't removed yet. I also get some of her mail in my box from time to time. The bottom left drawer has miscellaneous stuff like rubbing alcohol and cotton balls. In the space under the sink, I have toilet paper, cleaning supplies, bath soaps, and a bunch of other stuff. The cabinet at the right has things like deodorant, sunscreen, and a bunch of other junk. And the top right drawer is for oral care and shaving stuff. There's the toilet. I got a combined plunger toilet scrubber set. I bought this 2.6 gallon trash can to replace the 1.3 gallon trash can you saw under my work desk because that previous one was just too small to work for someone constantly disposing of used hand towels. And since I use those paper hand towels, I don't really have a use for this towel rack. These are the floor tiles, which are alright. If you ignore the dirty grout, I like that they're neutral. I bought a 2-piece set of soft shaggy rugs for the bathroom. This one is for the sink, and the other is for the tub/shower. Speaking of which, there is the tub. Again, I'm glad the shower tile is neutral. Here's some of the hardware in the tub. And the shower head. There's my soap dish with a thin piece of soap left, so I'll grab a new bar of soap. Yes, I even use black soap. Speaking of black, here is my set of towels. While I have no use for the towel rack built into the wall clear across the bathroom, I do have a need for a towel rack next to the shower. So I bought this one that holds my shower towel and face towel. You can see where the useless towel rack is relative to everything else in this space. Before buying the new towel rack, I had to hang my towel on the hook of the door, which meant having to step entirely out of the shower before drying off so I could grab my towel. That concludes the bathroom and the visual part of the apartment tour, but don't go anywhere just yet because I have some final thoughts. So the apartment is 560 square feet, which is tiny for most people, but great for me because that eliminated most of the competition for this apartment. And 560 square feet is more than enough for me. This apartment also comes with a storage space in the basement where I could house all of my unnecessary clutter so I could keep this apartment clean. As for lifestyle, this apartment is in the financial district, which means it's near transit and probably has a perfect walk score. I mean, I could easily get to the Ferry Building, North Beach, Market Street Ghirardelli, or even Oracle Park on foot. It's also important to note that this is my first, air quote, big boy apartment. If you want to know where I lived before, or you want an empty apartment tour of this space, then check out the other videos in my apartment series. I linked the playlist below.